Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Jay the Great, and welcome back to another anime reaction video here today. And as you can tell by the title, we got another Naruto Swagkage video. This is ranking the Hokage from weakest to strongest. It's been a lot of legendary Hokage, and Swagkage always does a very good job of making lists like this. He always has good evidence to back up his claims and always explains his positions very well. So we're going to check it out. But before we do, if you're new to the channel and you mess with the content, please think about showing some love. Any love is greatly appreciated. Hit that like button, turn on bell notifications to stay up to date with yours truly. And of course, hit that sub button if you haven't already to become part of the family, because once you do, you're part of it forever. But let's not waste any more time. Screen. Let's see what Swagkage has to say.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Swagkage here, and welcome to today's video, where by popular demand, I'm going to be ranking the Hokage from strongest to weakest, including all 7 of them, from Hashirama to Naruto. There's not really much more explaining than that I need to do, so without further ado, let's just jump right in.
Fair enough.
So these bottom two, Tsunade and Kakashi, are going to be pretty controversial. A lot of people get upset if you rank one below the other, one above the other. I mean, there's really no way I can position these two on the list without making a whole bunch of people upset. But at number 7, I'm placing Kakashi, not because Kakashi's weak by any means. He's an incredibly talented shinobi. You know, he has all of these accolades that I know for a fact I don't need to repeat. Became both a Jonin and an Onbu at these ridiculously young ages, copied over 1,000 jutsu with his Sharingan, and developed a reputation across the entire world, not just inside of the Hidden Leaf Village, as Kakashi the copy ninja. But he doesn't really have the physical capabilities to position him any higher on this list than at the bottom. He's very impressive, but the problem with him being a Hokage is that he was the benchmark that the audience was supposed to use to gauge the abilities of a Jonin. So I don't think he's elite Jonin, right? To be Hokage, he's elite. At least not without one of his Sharingan. He has gotten stronger according to the light novels, and he has some pretty crazy feats there, but I don't think any of it is enough to put him above Tsunade. After Kakashi, of course, we have Tsunade, no surprises here. I don't really think I need to explain her positioning, at least not relative to everybody above her.
Before we continue, I know Tsunade is next. Kakashi, I agree, as long as he's using the version after he lost his, the Sharingan and stuff. So I agree, but at his strongest, I would put him above Tsunade. I think he's not going based off that version, but I'm just saying, feels like the double Mangekyo Sharingan, or even one, tail end of the war, he was pretty strong at that point. I might put him above Tsunade, but yeah, this version without the Sharingans, I agree, he should be at the bottom. Unfortunately, I love Kakashi, but that's just reality.
But the reasons why she's above Kakashi, I mean, they're pretty plentiful. While I don't doubt that Kakashi could probably beat Tsunade in a fight thanks to his superior intelligence, there are plenty of people that I think Tsunade could beat in a fight that Kakashi would just have no chance against. I guess this is a pretty unfair example to use, considering Kakashi got significantly stronger between part 1 and the end of the series, but it was made very clear during the first confrontation between Kakashi and Orochimaru in part 1 that Kakashi was well aware he stood no chance against the guy, and both Orochimaru and Kabuto were pretty afraid to challenge Tsunade. Granted, Orochimaru was severely weakened because he'd lost use of both of his arms, but still, Tsunade's also shattered a Susanoo ribcage, blown apart walls.
She's strong as hell, man.
And can put herself in an effective state of temporary invincibility with her use of the 100 healings jutsu. She's a really impressive fighter, but not only is she the least powerful of the Sannin, she's far and away, excluding Kakashi, the least impressive of the Hokage. Coming in at number 5, we have Hiruzen. I'm not fully aware of the capabilities of, though I'm sure that goes for pretty much everybody, because what Monkey King Enma could do and could be used for wasn't all that heavily explored. But still, Hiruzen's a beast. Even as an old man, he was considered the strongest of the 5 Kage. He was able to defeat the reanimated Hashirama and Tobirama, though this is due in large part to the severe strength debuff they received. And he put in a lot of work in the battle against Jubito. It didn't really amount to much because Jubito is ridiculous, but still. Above Hiruzen, this is also going to be a bit controversial because a lot of people...
Alright, so before we continue to what seems like Tobirama's next, Hiruzen, I'd have him higher if he's using a different version. Once again, kind of like similar to Kakashi, he's using the version we see in the anime, and, he's old, right? He's not as strong as he was in his prime. Apparently, he was the strongest Hokage in his prime. Was he stronger than Hashirama? I guess we'll never know because we never really see that. But I would have him a little higher if he's in his prime. If not, I agree where he is right now. He belongs there. I don't think he's stronger than Tobirama or anyone else above him right now. But yeah, I'd change it up if we're talking about the best versions of every Hokage. But so far, I agree with this list. I agree.
debate who's stronger than the other between these two, but I am putting Tobirama. Tobirama is incredibly impressive and is without a doubt one of the strongest shinobi to have ever walked the earth, but I don't think he's quite as strong as Minato. Won't spend too much time focusing on that here though. So this is the guy who created the Shadow Clone Jutsu, Impure World Reincarnation, and Flying Raijin, two of which are S-rank jutsu, one of which is considered a high-end A-rank jutsu. Even regardless of rank, these are three of the most powerful jutsu in the entire series. All of them have loads of utility. He's also one of the best water style users in the entire world, and when he wasn't even in his prime, he was able to kill Izumi.
Honestly, Tobirama's pretty badass, dude. I really like Tobirama. Cool
like
look,
Hiruzen, Tobirama
cool
also
attitude,
showed off a bunch
stud,
of crazy abilities in the battle
beast.
against Yubito, and even managed to shake the Uzumaki clan hideout just by powering up when Orochimaru released him from the belly of the Reaper. Definitely shouldn't be underestimated. A lot of people like to downplay Tobirama because he got taken out by the Kinkaku force, but that was supposed to be made up of like 20 S-class shinobi, and to remind you of what an S-class shinobi is like, use the members of the Akatsuki as a reference. It's not like he was taken out by a bunch of fodder ninja like Chunin or even Jonin. No, nothing like that. Tobirama's really strong, don't get it twisted. Next above Tobirama,
he is Hashirama's brother.
Minato. Now, sometimes I wonder, with his QB chakra mode, if Minato would be able to go up against Hashirama, but I don't think he's quite strong enough to. Even despite his ability to use the Shadow Clone Jutsu, the Rasengan, and the Flying Thunder God technique, all in combination with one another pretty effectively, I might add. I don't think having a giant fox avatar would be enough to take out the god of shinobi Hashirama himself. But that's not to say Minato isn't strong. He's very powerful. Even before he became Hokage, as a matter of fact, I believe this was before he even learned how to use Sage Mode. In the Third Shinobi World War, at least a few of the villages the Leaf was at war with had put out a flee on sight order with regards to Minato. So if you came across this guy, you were supposed to run immediately and not even attempt to engage him. That's fucking ridiculous. And even if we're not counting the QB cloak, since Minato is only able to use that as an Edo Tensei zombie, I mean, he still has Sage Mode, and whether or not he thinks he's good at using it, he is a perfect Sage, and since base Minato was already
man. That guy has Sage Mode,
Sage Mode, which Shikamaru's dad, Shikaku, said to Shikamaru, put Naruto in a completely different league from everyone else in the Leaf Village. On top of that is overkill. I don't believe Minato can combine KCM and Sage Mode together. He's never displayed the ability to do so, and I believe he would have if he could. But even just the ability to either use Sage Mode or use the giant Kurama avatar separately makes him a total freak. At least early on in the series, it was heavily implied that Minato was the strongest of the Hokage as well, so I just don't feel right putting him beneath Tobirama. Plus, he's better at using all of Tobirama's jutsu than he is, with the exception of the Impure World Reincarnation. Minato is better at using Flying Thunder God and at using the Shadow Clone Jutsu, both of which, as I've said, are incredibly versatile, so I kinda think this is a no-brainer. While Tobirama likely has larger reserves of chakra, and is probably much more physically powerful than Minato, I think Minato is just an all-around better shinobi. And of course, unsurprisingly, in the number 2 spot, we have Hashirama.
Alright, that one's close. I'm sorry to pause it again, but I have to, give my take here. Minato and Tobirama, right? I agree he's better. And I know there's probably some people out there that don't agree, but I think Minato, in his prime, with Sage Mode, I mean, this guy's a perfect Sage, beats Tobirama. Just imagine him using Flying Raijin with Sage Mode and catches Tobirama with a Rasengan or something like that. That's GG, man. Tobirama probably is, more powerful, like physically more powerful. Probably not easy. Probably would not be easy because he is basically a genius as well, like Minato. But I think Minato would get the job done. Like Swagkage said, I think he's a faster ninja, has better Flying Raijin, has better Flying Thunder God, and is just a better shinobi overall, But yeah, so far I agree with the list. Let's continue. Hashirama's next.
Senju, the god of shinobi. Before Madara obtained the Rinnegan, Hashirama was without a doubt the strongest ninja of all time. Even after all of the buffs that Madara received, being able to use wood style, the Rinnegan, and all that extra
Madara got all kinds of buffs, man.
Hashirama was still able to fight pretty evenly with him. The guy can create a gigantic 1,000-armed Buddha statue. Everybody in the world is itching to get their hands on his DNA.
Even with the Nine Tails and the Susanoo cloak that he had.
considered
he still
one
lost
of
to
the league's
Hashirama.
greatest
You know,
assets
Mado
just
got his ass
because he
beat.
can use wood style. Not even at the same level
He's a
as
beast, man. Hashirama
can.
is
The guy
something
is
else.
absolutely nuts, and his hype and showing speak for themselves.
Hell yeah.
The same can be said about the guy in the #1 spot, Naruto Uzumaki. I mean, after he got
You thought,
Sage of Six Paths powers,
is there
he
anybody
was
else really? You know,
propelled
anybody
into
else
a
that could take that spot? Come
completely
on,
new tier of
he's a
power.
beast.
There is nobody on this list
Main
with
character.
his name
He's the
that
main
could
character.
even try to compete with him. And I'm pretty sure that Naruto could solo all 6 other Hokage if they were working together against
Probably
him
could.
if he wanted to. I mean,
Probably
the guy
could.
can fly. He has access to Sage mode, KCM with Sage mode. The series likes to dance around this, but he's still capable of using 6 paths Sage mode. He has the Rasen Shuriken, Tailed Beast Bomb, Tailed Beast Ball Rasen Shuriken, Super Mini Tailed Beast Ball, Super Mini Tailed Beast Ball Rasen Shuriken, Magnet Release, Lava Release, Boil Release, all 5 basic natures, Shadow Clones, an arm forged from Hashirama's DNA.
Yeah, man, he's a killer.
Naruto's ridiculous. I mean, he's the main character. I guess that's sort of what you'd expect, but I doubt anybody's gonna have a problem with me putting him at the top of the list. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. Let me know your thoughts about the list, who you would swap out, how you would position everybody, and let me know any ideas for future videos you might have in the comments as well. Till my next video, I'll talk to you later. Swagkage out. Bye.
All right, there you guys have it. That's a great list by Swagkage. You know, I agree. I agree with the list, and I get why he did that with Hiruzen. You know, I know some people are gonna be like, well, they said he was the strongest Hokage up to that point, but we never get to see that. You know, words are words, and we never get to see Hiruzen in his prime, really. You know, so I agree putting him there. Really see him as an old man. He's still powerful. He still gave Orochimaru a run for his money. He still was able to seal some of Orochimaru's soul, taking his arms away, stuff like that. And he knows, like he said, he knows all jutsus, all basic 5 chakra natures. He's a beast. He's a beast. Maybe he is stronger than even Minato in his prime. Who knows? But we never know. So I agree putting him there from what we got. And Kakashi, like I said, I agree as long as they're using that version of Kakashi without the Sharingan or the double Mangekyo. Because if we're using the Sharingan, you know, when at the tail end of the Ninja War or the double Mangekyo Sharingan, he's stronger than Tsunade, especially with that perfect Susanoo. You know, although Tsunade can crack it, I don't think she'd be able to defeat Kakashi, you know, with double Mangekyo. But yeah, I agree with the list. Hashirama definitely second. He's a killer. You know, he basically was the strongest of all time for a long time until, you know, Sasuke and Obito got the Rinnegan and stuff like that. Until he became Jubito and Sasuke got 6 paths and so did Naruto. Hashirama was the top dog till that point. You know, he was a monster. He fucking clapped Madara, who had all those buffs, you know, Internal Mangekyo Sharingan. Kurama, he had the Nine Tails with him. Still lost to Hashirama. Hashirama was the god of Shinobi for a long time. And obviously, #1, there's no debate there. Naruto, he's a monster. I mean, he's a god at this point. No one can touch him. Not even now. And currently in Boruto. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed Swagkage's stuff. Check him out. He is the expert on Naruto and a few other animes. Him and his squad, they do a great job. I love watching them, man, because he knows what he's talking about, and I really enjoy watching his videos and learning more from him. But if you enjoyed this reaction, like I said, any love is greatly appreciated. Hit the like button, hit that bell button, and hit that sub button to become part of the family if you already haven't. But it's gonna wrap it up. Happy holidays to you all, and I'll catch you next video. This is Judy Gray signing out. Peace.